What's going on, guys? My name is AzN3AlK0, and I'll be bringing you guys another extra in my Exploring the Arsenal series. This time featuring the Brass Knuckles, the newest melee weapon that Nexon has released for the mid-month supply drop for the month of January. And first of all, I'd like to say that the Brass Knuckles absolutely suck in terms of actual performance. You should not get the Brass Knuckles under any circumstances. It does have its pros, and it is extremely fun to play with. But if you want to go try hard meleeing, basically, do not get the Brass Knuckles. These are very impractical. They will not get your melee only jobs done properly. But anyways, I'll expand on why I think the Brass Knuckles suck later. As you can clearly see that I suck with the Brass Knuckles, seeing that this guy with the tracker knife is raping face. So, let's get started on this few stats that Nexon does give us for melee weapons. It does 44 damage, I believe that only pertains to its primary, the left click attack. How much the right click does, I'm not too sure, but I'm fairly certain it does more than 50 damage. So my recommended use, if you are going to use the Brass Knuckles, are try right clicking them first, and then once you've got that kind of uppercut attack in on your enemy, then follow it up with a left kind of like a straight punch, the left click. That should be the 1-2 punch that should suffice, pun intended, to take out any enemy. Of course, even the left click, here's where the Brass Knuckles kind of suffers, or actually suffers a lot. The primary attack is not instantaneous, unlike most short range melee weapons, because the Brass Knuckles I consider the Brass Knuckles to be a short range melee weapon, unlike the Ninjato and the Don Pedro sword, which are both like kind of longer range melee weapons. The Brass Knuckles, like I said, is the only kind of short range melee weapon that does not have a instantaneous primary attack. Like the M9 knife, the Sickle, the tracker knife, all those melee weapons are all short-range weapons that have an instantaneous or near instantaneous primary attack. Like, for example, you have your tracker knife out or your Sickle out, all you need to do is just left-click once, and then you'll attack nearly immediately. It'd be like whoosh, whoosh, like a really quick attack. Whereas the Brass Knuckles, as you can see here, I'm trying to left-click people, left-click people, and the punches aren't exactly instantaneous. As you can see, there's a kind of a delay, like it would have for a secondary attack. It would. So that's one of the main disadvantages that the Brass Knuckles has. I mean, there's no way around it. Seeing that melee weapons only have two kinds of attacks, the primary and the secondary. I mean, it is pretty hilarious going around punching people, and if you do get like a nut shot with your Brass Knuckles, God forbid how that'll feel, but it's quite entertaining. But like I said, for all practical purposes, it will not get your job done. The only major advantage that the Brass Knuckles has that it can boast of is extremely high portability. It's got the highest portability of any melee weapon in Combat Arms, even topping the tracker knife, which used to have a title for the fastest, basically the fastest melee weapon at 95. The Brass Knuckles has a portability of 97, so 2 points higher. Even though it's not really that significant, because I mean the tracker knife is still very fast, even at 95 portability. So at that, if you think about it, it's no different. Essentially, I mean, if you want to get super technical with stats, I mean, I could just tell you to just go rock the heartbeat sensor, which has a 98 portability. Well, that's higher than the Brass Knuckles, right? So why even bother buying the Brass Knuckles then at that point? Really, all the reasons why to buy the Brass Knuckles is, well, first of all, it's extremely high portability, which you can get with a tracker knife just as easily, or with a heartbeat sensor if you're not playing melee only, if you don't have the NX to buy a tracker knife. and the fact that it's really fun to use. Other than that, if you really want to go super anal try hard about going melee only, then don't buy the brass knuckles. You'll be frustrated. You'll be frustrated beyond your mind using your brass knuckles. People will just, yeah, they'll just kill you in melee only, especially if they know what they're doing, especially against those shifters, you know. Me personally, I don't really have anything against shifters, but I mean, brass knuckles is really extremely hard to use anyway. So, I mean, at that point, I'm pretty much at a disadvantage all around. So thanks for watching, guys. This has been a short episode on the brass knuckles, and yeah, hope you guys catch me all later. So thanks for watching. Sorry guys, one more thing about the brass knuckles that I had momentarily forgotten to mention. Most melee weapons in combat arms have a completely silent draw animation. Like, for example, when you pull out your M9 knife, it doesn't make any sound at all. The brass knuckles is one of the few melee weapons in combat arms that actually makes a sound when you draw it. So, if you are playing in like an objective-based mode, like Search and Destroy or Elimination Pro, where people will people will try to sound whore you as best as they can, I recommend that you do not bring the brass knuckles with you. The brass knuckles does make a slight sound, even though it is very quiet, and most people, if they're not paying attention, won't be able to notice it. If you're playing against really good guys who know how to sound whore, they will pick up on you bringing out your brass knuckles, because the brass knuckles gives off a kind of like a jingling sound, as if you jingle around car keys. So yeah, I just want you guys to be aware of that fact. And also, I know because this episode is pretty short, I'm going to give you guys an option to kind of vote, I guess you could say, to see if you guys want to see more brass knuckles gameplay, because I did record a lot more brass knuckles gameplay than what you see here. It's just that I didn't have much to say on the brass knuckles, so I just cut the episode short, or the gameplay itself short. So yeah, if you guys would like to see more brass knuckles gameplay, then by all means, just comment below, and if I see that lots of people do want to see more brass knuckles gameplay, then I will be more than happy to upload a full video of me basically going around punching people. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and catch y'all later.